In the previous class, we have discussed about the behavior of an alternating current when it passes through a pure resistor, an inductor and a capacitor. And we have learned that when alternating current flows through a pure resistor, the current is in phase with the voltage. In the case of inductor, the current lags behind the voltage by a phase of pi by 2, and in the capacitor, the current leads the voltage by a phase of pi by 2. Now, what happens when all these three components, that is an inductor, a resistor and a capacitor, connected together in series and an alternating EMF E is supplied to this circuit? Let us consider this circuit. Resistor R having a resistance R, then this is inductor which is having an inductance L, and capacitor having capacitance equal to C. An instantaneous EMF E is supplied to this circuit. The expression for EMF is E naught sin omega t. When we apply this voltage V, what are the variations of current and voltage across these components? Suppose these are the directions of the current passing through this resistance. I is the current, same current is flowing because they are in series with each other. Now this EMF which is supplied, the EMF supplied is E. The voltage which is appearing across these resistors, let us suppose VR is the voltage drop across R and VL is the voltage drop across L, and voltage drop across C is VC. Now considering these voltages, we have learned that the voltages are not in phase with the current. Considering the phase of these voltages, the voltage VR is in phase with the current. So VR also is directed along this direction. In the case of inductor, the current lags behind voltage. So this is the direction of the voltage developed across inductor. It leads the current by a phase of pi by 2. And in the case of capacitor, the current is the leader, so voltage developed will be 90 degree behind the current. The voltage is lagging behind. So these are the three vectors which we have obtained for this instantaneous supply. Now the total amount of voltage should be equal to the sum of VR plus VL plus VC. Whatever is the voltage supplied to this circuit, to different components, then the total voltage is distributed among all these components. But because they are not in same phase, therefore this EMF is not equal to algebraic sum of all these voltages. Instead, we can write it in vector form, like vector E is equal to vector sum of VR, VL and VC. So we have to add these vectors in order to find out the resultant EMF. Now these vectors VR, VL and VC have to be added up vectorially to get up the total value of the EMF which is supplied to the circuit. To find out the vector component, let us draw the phasor diagram. The phasor diagram showing these voltages can be drawn in this way. This is suppose the direction of the current. Then vector VR is plotted along this direction itself because VR is in phase with current. Vector VL is directed ahead of VR with ahead of current with a phase of pi by 2. And similarly, vector VC is directed behind the current by a phase of pi by 2. So these are the three vectors and we have to add them vectorially to find out the resultant value. These are the three vectors and we have to add them vectorially. In order to add these vectors, first of all, we will eliminate or we will add these two vectors VL and VC because they are inclined at an angle of 180 degree. So the sum of VL and VC can be obtained by cutting a vector, this VC, from the top of this VL. So nearly this much. These vectors can now be described as, this is VR vector and here we get VL minus VC vector. This is single vector now having its magnitude equal to VL minus VC and another vector is VR. They are inclined at an angle of 90 degree to each other. So adding these two vectors we can apply the parallelogram law of vector addition. Completing the parallelogram and drawing a diagonal. Now diagonal of this parallelogram gives the resultant of these two vectors. So resultant vector, what is it? It is nothing else but the EMF applied. So E vector is given by the sum of VR and VL minus VC. Let us suppose it is having a phase difference of phi with the direction of VR and also you know that direction of VR is along the direction of the current. So in this situation the resultant EMF is directed. In this situation we have obtained that the current is lagging behind the EMF by a phase of phi. So the expression for the current can be written as I naught sine omega t minus of phi. This is an inductive dominating circuit. Therefore, the vector VL minus VC is obtained in the direction of VL. Its reverse case is also true. That means if the value of VC is more, then the resultant will be obtained along this direction. Resultant will be obtained in the direction means that then it will become a capacitive dominating circuit and the current will be leading the voltage by a phase of phi. Let us find out the resultant vector of this. E is equal to, resultant will be given by the parallelogram law of vector addition. This is square of first vector plus square of second vector VL minus VC whole square. Here we have used the formula for the resultant of two vectors, that is under root of a square plus b square and the other term that is 2ab cos theta. We have to write here 2ab cos theta. Here we have used this equation. Resultant is given by under root a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. This is the expression obtained by the parallelogram law of vector addition. So A is VR and B vector is VR minus VC. Angle between these two vectors is 90 degree. So cos 90 is equal to 0. That term has been eliminated. Writing these voltages in terms of current and resistances. VR is equal to IR. So IR whole square plus VL is equal to I multiplied by the resistance offered by inductor. That is equal to XL minus of VC. VC is equal to I into XC whole square. This can be written as I is common in all terms. So I square is taken out of bracket. Common terms written as R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Or it can be written as I under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. This is the expression for EMF. So E by I is equal to under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. E by I, this is equal to the total resistance offered by L, C and R in the flow of AC passing through the circuit. And this term is called the impedance of the circuit. Impedance is the total resistance. This is called as impedance because it impedes the current. करंट को ये रोकती है और करंट को अपोजिशन करती है. इसका रोल यहाँ पर वही है जो कंडक्टर्स में रेजिस्टेंस का, इंडक्टर में इंडक्टिव रिएक्टेंस या इंडक्टिव इम्पीडेंस का, कैपेसिटर में कैपेसिटिव रिएक्टेंस का और एलसीआर सर्किट में इम्पीडेंस. ये सभी एक ही टाइप की क्वांटिटीज हैं और इसका जो एसआई यूनिट है वो क्या है, ओम ही होगा क्योंकि ये रेजिस्टेंस का रोल है प्ले. दिस इम्पीडेंस कैन बी रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय मींस ऑफ अ डायग्राम व्हिच इज कॉल्ड एज इम्पीडेंस ट्रायंगल. This is representing R. Here it is XL minus XC, and this third side of the triangle, it shows the resultant of these two vectors, which is equal to Z, the impedance. Yes. Now what is the angle between R and Z? It is equal to phi. From this triangle we can find out the value of this cos phi. Cos phi is obtained as base upon hypotenuse, that is R upon Z. This cos phi is called as the power factor. And similarly we can find out tan phi, which is equal to XL minus XC upon R. This impedance can be compared to the inductive reactances, that is the inductive reactance offered by the inductor or by the capacitor. A question is asked in board examinations. Differentiate between reactance and impedance. Then you have to compare their values. This Z is, the impedance is minimum. When will it be minimum? If this factor becomes 0, the minimum value of the z. This is equal to under root of r square, which is equal to r. So when the impedance is minimum, the current flowing through the circuit will be maximum. So when will you get a maximum value of current in an LCR circuit? The condition in which the inductive reactance is equal to the inductive capacitance. The value of this impedance is a factor of these two. As XL is equal to omega L and XC is equal to 1 by omega C, the value of Z depends upon the angular frequency or the linear frequency of the supplied alternating current. In the next section, we will study the variation of the current with respect to the frequency and the phenomena of resonance. Thank you.